Good morning, beautiful. Hi, I'm Jordan James, and this is Good Deeds Buffalo. Get ready for an inspiring journey. Join us as we shine a light on the everyday heroes in Western New York who selflessly make a difference in their community without asking for anything in return. From painters using their art to bring joy to cancer patients, to human rights activists fighting for vulnerable communities, to musicians using their talents to heal others, our guests embody the essence of generosity. Expect a dose of positivity, good news, and even some dance moves as we learn more about changemakers, nonprofits, and charity events that make up a difference in our community. And the best part, Western New York can nominate someone for their good deed. Simply tag us on social media, contact us via our website, or send us an email to share your story. Stay tuned as we celebrate the individuals who have earned the recognition and gratitude of our community on Good Deeds Buffalo.
Everybody wants a life full of hope to feel alive. Everybody needs a dream, we ain't getting younger. Everybody wants to love, feel the rush, beating heart. You can live it all, reach out and you will see. Reach out and you will see.
So joining me in studio is Rachel Kent, the founder of Good Deed Grocery at Public School 198.
Hi, Jordan. It's very nice to be here today. Thanks for having me.
You are so welcome. You know, we've been trying to get together for a while.
Yes.
So I'm happy to finally have this discussion. Can you tell us a little bit about the Good Deed Grocery?
Sure. The Good Deed Grocery is a student-run support center at Buffalo Public School 198, which is International Preparatory, the old Grover Cleveland, if you've been around Buffalo for that long. And what we are is we are a school-based food pantry site that is part of Feed More Western New York. But our food pantry is a little different because it's actually run by the students in the school. They form management teams, they take care of orders, they pack them up, they make sure they get to the right places. And not only do we do food, but we also have a free clothing and a free personal hygiene store right inside of our school too.
So that's right in this school.
It's in the school. Actually, this is a program that we started last year. We officially opened in March of 2022, so we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary. And this was an idea that really came from the students. When we came back after the pandemic, we kind of noticed that in our school, we have a lot of individuals who struggle with having enough finances to afford what they need for their families. So we started with a personal hygiene drive, and we were able to serve over 40 students with donations from the staff. It went from that to working with Colvin Cleaners to do free coats, hats, and gloves. And from then on out, we just kept rolling along, making new connections, getting assistance from various people in the community. We work with Rich Products and National Fuel and National Grid and Buffalo State College. And it's just really amazing, the outpouring of support for this program in schools.
Yeah, I think people don't understand the importance of this program. So if a student comes to school and they're having challenges at home, maybe with food or necessities, they can come right to this Good Deed Grocery and you guys will help them out.
Yeah, our students can shop for free 1 time a week for their whole entire family. So if they have 10 people under their roof, they can pick up 3 meals a day for each family member. And literally our students are taking home as much as they can carry, or maybe occasionally calling an Uber to get their things home. And we're open on Saturday academies for families to come shop too. So they come, they complete a really short registration form, and then from then on out, anything they need is completely free. So let's say a student ran out of the house in the morning and didn't put deodorant on. They know that they can stop in the grocery store before the school day starts and can have that personal care item that they were missing. And it really just was born on the premise that everybody deserves to have a good day at school every day. And the reason why we're doing this and how we make it work in the school is through good deeds. Yeah. So our students do earn community service hours towards graduation for participating. We also won a National Leadership Award last year called Lead for Change. We were the only school in New York State who's become a certified Lead for Change leadership school, which is really amazing, as you know,
that's a huge accomplishment.
as a Buffalo public school with a very international student population. We speak over 40 languages, that we were able to come together to win this really amazing contest last year.
I think it shows how beautiful community is.
Yes.
Right? Community of all different backgrounds.
And the students really take pride in their participation. They earn recognition at graduation. They get honor cords. Last year, during our first year, we actually received, or the students received, commendation from Mayor Brown's office, the Diversity and Equity office, for distributing, by the end of the school year, over 8 tons of free food to our community. Upon that, I also did a bunch of fundraising and GoFundMes. So last school year, our one site gave away over $150,000 worth of free resources to our community. And we continue to this day. It is still a student-run operation. We're still partnered with Feed More in Western New York, working with Rich Products, and our students are really growing in their leadership.
That's amazing. You said how much food?
Over 8 tons of food in 4 months. Now, of course, we did have the horrible Tops incident on May 14th. We were there to support our community during that time as well. And our families are really appreciative. Not only the parents, but the students are able to take ownership over something at home that they might be missing. You know, our young ladies can pick up feminine hygiene supplies, which are incredibly costly.
Yeah.
And they know that they have confidence to come back to school the next day having what they need.
I think when growing up, I feel like adults often looked at me like, oh, you don't know what you need. These students know what they need, and they're able to come to you and get the resources. That's important. You are providing the service, and they know what they need to get it, right?
Yeah, and they really take ownership. They take responsibility for the space. They leave it better than what they found it. You know, sometimes you go in the stores and there's shoppers and things aren't so neat. That's not the way our stores are. They come in and they might shop for clothing for anyone in their family. We have baby items. We have, you know, young mothers in our school that we support with diapers and free diapers from Feed More Western New York. So we really try to kind of have everything that a family could need that would prevent them from being able to send a child to school or to be able to have a good day at home. You know, let's take that off of you. We know that you're struggling financially, so maybe you can take that money and put it towards something else that's going to benefit your family in the long run.
I don't know what else to say besides I'm so impressed by the work that you've been able to do. Now, this was an idea, starting the Good Deed Grocery idea was an idea of yours, but everyone embraced it, and now it's become this thing.
Yeah.
You know, can you share briefly, like, the impact that this has had on your school?
Yes, you know, a lot of the students are really proud of being able to take care of their families. They sign up for shopping appointments. They are you know, seeing students wear the clothes in the hallway when you notice certain individuals have been maybe wearing the same outfit over and over again, which is often what happens in lower income schools. Just seeing them come in, rotating clothing. We have washers and dryers that students can use during Saturday academies or during the school days. So we get a lot of really positive comments. And we even have graduates who come back and still shop because we are a community food pantry. So they know where the support is, they know the people, and it really helps students who are transitioning maybe out of their parents' household into a household of their own after they graduate. They still know that they have that safety net that's there and that they can come and get the assistance they need.
Wow. And we're going to wrap up our interview here in just a minute, but you've started the Good Day Grocery, which helps other organizations in the community get the resources like items. And you've also started a library where people can get free books for the school too.
Yes. So with everything that's been going on in the Buffalo community, we obviously know that there's a lot of people who are in need. So during the blizzard, I was using the Good Deed Grocery Instagram account to tweet out everything I could about the storm every 20 minutes because I knew my students would be looking at Instagram to get the information. Through that, we saw a lot of outpouring of support from the community, and I have an Amazon wish list. So a lot of donations came in from the wish list, many more than we could even use at International Preparatory site. So we decided to broaden our horizons, kind of focus on helping everybody in Buffalo have a good day, starting the official Good Day Grocery, and we currently partner with Westside Community Services Provisions 139 Pantry, and what we're doing is we're providing free personal hygiene items and some basic home essentials like dish soap and washcloths to that pantry as well. So we're kind of starting one pantry at a time to kind of just bring free hygiene items to all of Buffalo, because we know that we have food support, we have mental health support, but there's support that's needed in other areas too.
Perfect. And people can learn more about the Imagination Library, right, that you're starting online as well,
Yes,
too.
the Imagination Library. This is a program that is a part of the Dolly Parton Foundation, and it will be new to the Buffalo area. It provides free books to children from birth through age 5. Those books are shipped directly to the young person's home every month.
Wow.
So really to help build early literacy here. And we do have an Instagram, Imagination Library Buffalo, and we do have a Good Day Grocery Instagram where you can find our Amazon wish list. And we will be starting to register recipients for the Imagination Library coming up in the month of May.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming on this show. It's been a pleasure to chat with you.
Thank you.
And before we go, I actually have something for you. Our friends over at Double Eagle Embroidery wanted to gift you this Bill's Mafia fleece. It's just a small token for all that you do for Buffalo.
Oh, thank you so much. You know what? The coincidence is I also did work for the Bills, so I will wear this with pride. Buffalo's a great city to be in, and anything we can do to support our hometown teams or to support the growth of our students in schools, I really think it's important to do.
When we return, it's time for Melanie Klaja, a talented music teacher, actress, and the owner of Mels Music School. Make sure to follow us on all of the latest social media: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Welcome back to Good Deeds Buffalo. Joining us now is Melanie, the talented music teacher, actress, and the owner of Mel's Music School.
Mels School of Music and Theater.
Yes, Mel's Music School and Theater.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Now, can you describe the moment you first realized that music was your passion?
Ironically, it was actually when I was about 4. I was in one of the variety telethons.
Oh, wow.
I know. And I was 4 years old and I sang on stage, and I was with a young girl that was my age, but she had a disability. And I think just bringing the joy to her and bringing the joy to the audience, I knew at that moment that I just wanted to do it for the rest of my life.
Isn't the Variety Kids Telethon a blast?
Oh my gosh. It was, yeah, I was so young, and it just led the path to all of the things that I did after that.
So it inspired you to kind of keep going. I was going to ask, what inspired you to start Mel's Music School in theater?
Well, definitely my daughter. So I was on the road to become a rock star, like we all want to be at a young age. But when my fiance and I found out we were having a little girl, I knew that things needed to kind of go in a different direction. Yeah. And I wanted her to have the opportunities artistically that I didn't have as a kid. And so she definitely grounded me to find a way to do what I love, but also open the doors for kids her age and beyond to do the same thing.
It's just so wonderful because you've been able to really start something special. Can you share a memorable experience or time from your time as the teacher, at Mel's Music School and theater?
Yeah, so I think the biggest thing for me is watching the growth of these kids. I always say I call my kids my misfits, because they come to me, and I'm the biggest misfit of all. Yeah. So they come to me with whether they are having issues at school, or maybe they don't fit into their own theater program or music program, or they're a part of the LGBTQ community. They come to the school and become a part of our community, and that helps them to have confidence in their own schools and in their own family lives. So watching my kids that I've had for the last 5 years, like now that might be seniors in high school, wow, and seeing them, having found their place, that's probably the biggest thing that I'm really proud of.
And what does the school offer? What do you offer at the school?
We have a bunch of things. So we have private lessons for voice and for all the instruments. Then we have group classes for kids of all ages, from toddlers to high school. And then we have our theater company, and we do productions. We do, like 2 plays a year, 2 musicals a year, and then over the summer, do about like 3 summer camp musicals.
3 summer camp musicals.
Yes.
So that's a lot to manage.
Yeah, and then on top of it, we do a lot of like local festivals and fairs, just to give these kids an opportunity to be seen, for their voices and talents to shine.
Yeah, you really only need that one experience and to feel embraced to like, wow,
Yes.
I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
And you're giving them the opportunity. It's just so special. You know, growing up, I always gravitated to my music teacher in school. Mrs. Strong was her name. And she's somebody who really empowered me through music to be kind. You know, we would listen to some of the best music in class. And it's just so cool to use music to help power people.
Absolutely.
Right?
There's a huge amount of experience in just being empathetic and learning other people's emotions through their music and through their art. It helps you to connect to people, and it helps you to also find things about yourself that maybe you wouldn't know unless you were being expressive.
With that, how do you foster a supportive and inclusive environment for the students then?
So we it's a very communal, social network in terms of us talking about the things that they want to do, the shows that they want to put on. We change our classes yearly because we ask our kids what they might benefit from more, and really just talk to each student individually. Each student is different. Our private teachers change their lesson plan according to what each student's goals are. Wow. Yeah, so it's definitely, there's not one way to teach.
There's
right?
really not, no, yeah.
No, there's definitely a ton of ways. And with that, you're always learning as the teacher. So when I started teaching, I can't even imagine the things that I've learned myself, and I've grown so much from, my students. So it's really such a communal thing back and forth.
Well, I'm glad to see that you've built a community and you have this community supporting you. Can you talk about the role of the community that you have, the community surrounding you, and the role that partnerships play in your success?
Yeah, definitely. Parents are number one. We couldn't do it without the parents, and the fact that they see something special creatively in their kids, that's huge, and that they bring their kids to our school every time. But even like working with some of my friends that own dance studios or the local schools, really supporting each other. It's not competitive, and even kids that play sports, right? So like we change our schedule according to what a student might have to do, and we make it so they can do all of these things.
They can do it all, and
yes.
You will build around their schedule.
Of course, yeah, no, definitely. And I've had kids that have taken breaks for a couple of years to try something out and then come back, So it's really about embracing that, like, a child's mind is endless, and allowing them to try so many things is really a part of what we do to express ourselves.
Well, thank you for opening the door of creativity for a lot of these students. Do you have anything to add today?
Yeah, so, you know, if you want to check out our social media, we are at Mels School, both on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. There's a lot of videos of our kids, you know, performing and having fun together. We have summer camps that are coming up, so we have auditions on March 25th. And yeah, and just keep tabs on some of the master classes we do. We bring Broadway and touring people to come and teach kids how they got to where they've gotten. So just kind of stay in touch.
As a small token of our appreciation, our friends over at Double Eagle Embroidery wanted to give you this Bills Mafia fleece, just as a small token of our appreciation for what you do for our community and the future children that are going to be running our city.
Thank you so much. My second love are the Buffalo Bills, you know, so that's really awesome. Thank you so much for having me. You guys do amazing things here.
Well, thank you. Now, we'll be right back to meet Linda R Appleby, an adjunct professor at Villa Marie College and the gospel choir director. Welcome back to Good Deeds Buffalo. Joining us now is Linda R Appleby, an adjunct professor at Villa Marie College. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Well, thank you, Jordan, for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, it's a pleasure. Now, can you tell us a little bit about your journey in the music industry and how you became the gospel choir director while you were doing that position?
Okay, well, we have to go back to 1974.
Okay.
When I graduated from then Rosier Hill College, which is now Damon College, and graduated as a music major and began teaching in the Buffalo Public Schools. But I was also, at the time of doing that, dabbled into musical theater and worked with Tom Dudzik and the African Cultural Center when they were just beginning. Jackie Peoples, who's one of my esteemed mentors, and also worked in the church liturgy and was a music minister, which I also did when I was in college.
Wow.
So, you know, as my career started to grow and as I got more comfortable in teaching, I took on more responsibilities and included my students in all sorts of activities and community service. Choirs, they were, my students from Olmsted were a part of a Broadway show, which was Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat back in 1995 with the original cast from Broadway with Sam Smith. We sang for Hillary Clinton. We sang for Sandra O'Day, Connor from the Supreme Court. We had a number of significant gigs that we just kept on getting, and make a long story short, 22 years I taught at Olmsted School 56, and then went to City Honors, where the esteemed Mrs. Irene McVeigh, who ran the African drumming troupe there, asked if I would do a gospel choir, and I was already directing a gospel choir because I was working at St. Mary of Sorrows on Rich Street, and because I had already had the mentorship of Jackie Peoples, I had a lot of knowledge of the gospel literature, and you know, used that information and that content to create the City Honors Gospel Choir. And from there, that choir did just beautifully, you know, and students that came out of that, George Brown, Brandon, McClellan, these kids are doing phenomenal work.
You know, I wanted to bring that up. You know, you're a music teacher, but you're so much more than that to these people. You've helped people, you've helped giving them soul, which they've taken and actually launched careers. You've worked with numerous Grammy artists, right? Grammy award-winning artists and nominated artists.
I did work with Joseph Wooten, who is a 3-time Grammy-nominated artist. He's a current keyboard player for the Steve Miller Band. And I worked with him by virtue of bringing him into the schools. I created an artist in residency program, programs I have been doing consistently throughout my career when Al Tinney was alive, Dodo Green, Trigger Gaston, Abdul Rahman, Bilal Abdullah. Oscar Brown Jr., Oscar Brown the third. So I was doing this consistently, probably began back in 1985, I would say. Wow. So bringing in other musicians and other artists so that my students could learn from them and to grow with seeing these experts that were in the area of jazz and blues and gospel. So by the time I got to 2009, I guess, was when I was introduced to Joseph Wooten and asked him, I said, would you like to come to Buffalo? Because he lives in Nashville. Would you like to come to Buffalo? And he said yes. And wow. I was like floored. You're going to come to Buffalo. I didn't really know him, but he wanted to work with children and had, I guess seen some of the work that I had already done via online and was impressed with what was going on and was very, very, very much wanted to be a part of that.
He was intrigued. I will say you are a part of a lot of musical acts in Western New York.
Yes.
If you ask somebody, chances are they know who you are and you've mentored them.
Yes.
You've been working in this industry for how many years?
48. I'm trying to make it to 50.
Wow, that is a long
years.
time of mentoring
Yeah.
the students who need it. What is your favorite part about teaching music?
Getting to know my students. I didn't realize, 50 years ago that I would make lifelong friends, because I think it's not even teaching music, it's teaching.
Teaching.
It's just the fact of teaching, especially with social media, because now you can stay in touch with people via, Facebook or Instagram or however. It's so much easier to stay connected. The best part of that is just to be so connected and to think that I've had a small part in pushing them forward into doing other things, like your other individuals that you had here. The one young lady that has the program at Grover Cleveland, she was talking about a person in the inclusion program. Well, that's a former student of mine.
Yeah.
That's Chantel Thompson and Miss Mel with Mels School of Music. One of her former teachers was one of my former students at Villa Maria College. So it's just wonderful to see our youth coming up and doing all of these marvelous things. And the thing that I like the most is that I know that I can confidently say that our world is going to be in great hands. And I love to see the growth, and I love to see the evolution, and I love watching that they are contributing to society in a way that benefits all of us, and it's going to be benefiting me as I get older.
I'm getting the chills talking to you because I can hear your passion behind teaching.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it's not just music, it's all aspects of their lives.
Oh, yes.
And you're confident now because of your experience and your dedication that the community in the future is going to be bright. And music
absolutely
has the power to bring people together.
Well, I just, I came here after just teaching at Villa, and one of my students, he was trying to, do his song. I said, well, what is the purpose of this right now? Like, what are you doing? You're telling a story, you're communicating. You are communicating through music, through your voice right now, which is your instrument. So we always want to be able to tell a story through music, and that story can heal, it can uplift, it brings us together, it unifies, and I just love being a part of that.
Well, it's wonderful. Thank you again for coming on the show, Linda. I greatly appreciate it.
Oh, I greatly appreciate you asking me. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. We actually have something for you. Now, as a small token of our appreciation, our friends over at Double Eagle Embroidery wanted to gift you this Bills Mafia fleece as a small token for all that you do for our community.
Oh, I love it.
Now you can rock the Bills Mafia.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are so welcome.
I love it.
Thank you again.
Thank you for having me.
Everybody wants a life full of hope to feel